Hello and welcome to Zgermanguy Reviews. I'm Zgermanguy. And welcome back, my friends, to another edition of Kingdom Hearts, a retrospective. Jumping right back in, Sora visits a new world, and his eyes light up when he discovers that he arrived at a theme park, with roller coasters, Ferris wheels, cotton candy, and an evil child snatcher who turns them into donkeys to be sold off to a salt mine. You know, the usual stuff. They got to lower the prices of the tickets somehow.
Yeah. Hiya, Georgie.
Anyway, Jiminy is talking to himself about what a little bundle of trouble Pinocchio is.
Still, that little fella's some miracle. Imagine, Mr. Geppetto's wooden puppet brought to life by the Blue Fairy. She made his wish for a son come true because he's given so much happiness to others.
If talking to yourself is not weird enough, why not try giving yourself exposition? Sora approaches him, and as was to be expected in this world, he has no recollection of ever meeting us, but his name does feel familiar. Then Sora, being a clever boy for a moment, remembers back to what Yen Sid told him about meeting familiar faces in the sleeping world. He explained they may seem real, but they are only figments of the dream frozen in time during the moments before the world was annihilated. So, just like with Chain of Memories, it doesn't really matter what we do here, since none of it is really happening and has no real impact on anything, besides our own personal development. And I just had a very dark thought. What if Bill Murray's character in Groundhog Day sexually assaulted women regularly when he discovered that he could get away with it? Don't think that this is far-fetched, cause he also murdered his own friends.
I'm betting he's gonna swear first.
But here comes a thing that really ruins this otherwise perfect explanation. Yen Sid continues saying that they are a figment of a dream, while the real person is asleep. Map! You almost had it. You almost had it, and then you had to keep on talking. This doesn't make sense at all. It does make sense that Jiminy's world is here because we were told in KH1 that it was destroyed, but it doesn't make sense for him to be here. He was with us the whole time during the events of 2 and Chain of Memories, the latter of which he had his most prominent role in the entire series. If he had not been in those games at all, it could have been explained by saying that he stayed on the ship during the final battle with Ansem and was teleported back to his homeworld, which then fell asleep right afterwards. And it would have been actually quite a clever move if they had done it so that Jiminy was completely absent up until this point. He would have been just one of those people they forgot about in Castle Oblivion, and in KH2 when they woke up with restored memories, they would have been under the assumption that he was back home. But no, you gave him a bigger role for just one game and then put him back in the backseat, and now you need to sleep complicate things. But yeah, this is peak Kingdom Hearts storytelling weirdness. Seriously, Nomuraism could be its own diagnosis of mental disorders. Then again, It could be that this really is just a dream version of Jiminy and the real one still is in Sora's pocket reading a book and it simply got lost in translation. Because in this game, more than ever before, dialogue feels weird and disconnected to lines said a lot of times. But I must work with what they give me. Okay, better get back to happy fun Disney stuff. Jiminy says we need to get out of here because this is a terrible place where boys are allowed to make jackasses of themselves. They smoke, they drink, and they destroy the park. Hey, I'm Johnny Knoxville and this is Kingdom Hearts. Also, all of those things sound fucking amazing. Come on, Jiminy, let me have this one night. I will go to rehab afterwards, I promise. Also, this must be the park before any of the boys have arrived, because I don't see much chaos going on here. Mr. Good Conscience then remembers from where he knows our name. This time, it's not because all hearts are connected or any of that stuff, but because Pinocchio, some time before, told him after several lies to avoid the question why he didn't go to school like he was supposed to, that a man in black told him to play a trick on Sora. And here I was thinking Maleficent had low standards for her allies. A quick visit from the Blue Fairy, who is all magic and sparkly and shit, telling him he needs to be a good and honest citizen of Earth to earn real boyhood, because lies will grow and grow until they are as plain to see as the nose on one's face. And do yourself a favor, my boy, and don't think about the paradox that would occur if you said, "My nose will grow now." One of the things I thought about when I saw Pinocchio for the first time was how excellent he would be for wood production. He could do a great service to humanity with his powers. Well, cursed it is. You know, just for so long until more trees get planted to be cut down and the global need is satisfied. Then he can become a human and be praised by the whole world. I'm only thinking in bigger pictures here, you guys. I'm a nerd. We then finally go on the hunt for our dear Leaf Brain, who runs around the park with seemingly no plan. The Blue Fairy should have added never to misbehave to the list of promises Pinocchio must make. Or, you know, put a tracking device in his brain. He doesn't have any rights. We catch up to him, but it turns out to be a Dream Eater in a very bad disguise, leading us into a trap. And they do this several times. Quick, what can you read on this picture? We eventually find the real Pinocchio, surrounded by Dream Eaters inside the circus tent.
Oh, my stars above! We've got to do something!
Fun fact, Jiminy is a follower of the third biggest world religion in the world, Disneyism. And just like Muslims, he has to travel at least once in his lifetime to the main capital of his faith in California. And so, once again, another battle between light and darkness begins. This time taking place on a trampoline. I pity the fools who can't take this franchise seriously. We fight them off, and after a quick visit from Xemnas, Sora reacting as if this was the first time he saw him again, Sora has this to say.
That doesn't make any sense.
The tagline for the whole series. Then we get yet another visit, this time not from someone evil, but instead from her majestic blindingness, the Blue Fairy herself. Oh my god, does that mean she will finally turn Sora into a real puppet? No, instead the Blue Fairy has some really bad news. Pinocchio's father Geppetto tried to search for his son on this island, but got swallowed up by Monstro, so Pinocchio and his conscience went after him. And I just realized that the same issue I had with Jiminy being here also applied to Pinocchio and Geppetto, who decided to live in Traverse Town. Me and my son, we were of course very happy that our home world returned after the door to Kingdom Hearts opened, but right now it's not a cool place.
Candlewick. Shoot the puppet.
Sora goes into the ocean and is able to walk and breathe underwater. And I first wanted to complain about this, but then I remembered not only is this a dream world, not only is the Keyblade magic, not only is Sora an anime, he is also a considerable amount of cartoon character. and this usually happens when they get under the sea. I'm also going to assume he borrowed Link's iron boots for this. Be that as it may, Sora walks for a while until he sees the two replacement heroes walking in his direction, running away from Monstro. Sora's two friends get eaten, and my god, now I realize that those huge shoes are the perfect swimming support. A big Dream Eater appears and shoots lasers at the whale. Normally I would appreciate the help, but remember, the three innocent guys are still inside. Then it turns out that the laser was the same technology used by Mr. Freeze, because Monstro was turned into an ice statue. Now everybody inside his belly is dead. Still, I get $500 per pound. Thanks for making it ready for shipment. In reality, Sora is delivering a really bad pun.
I'll have to claw my way past, then rescue my friends.
Surprisingly, this doesn't want to make the Dream Eater kill himself instantly. Sora then frees Monstro from his icy prison. It's then enveloped by a giant bubble on which Sora rides, going after the Dream Eater.
Yep, that's good shit.
Shortly later, Monstro devours the Dream Eater in one bite. This game made me ask the question in Chain of Memories how darkness smells. Now I'm thinking about how it tastes like. Also, every time, be it Heartless, Nobody or whatnot, those beings disappear once they have been killed. So once the Dream Eater reaches Monstro's stomach, he will realize that they are not at all filling. So I guess the fruit that Crash Bandicoot keeps eating in his games must be disguised beings from the dark as well, which explains why he has a hunger that never seems to go away. Oh my friends, I am this close to figuring out the ultimate code and knowing how all of media fits into one universe. Anyhow, Monstro sneezes, driving Sora back to the beach of the island. And in this moment, Sora fits the pieces together. Right after this moment in reality, this is where the Heartless will come and destroy this world, casting Pinocchio and Geppetto out into space. I would have given my last pair of socks to see the expression on the face of the whale shortly after his planet got destroyed. I'm floating in space? I don't need air to breathe? Am I immortal? Am I a god? Of course, it should be obvious that in the real world it all would have happened just like it did in the movie up until this point. At least, I think so. I don't see how a dream that happens in the future is canon to something that happened in the past. One of my favorite fan things to do is to theorize at what point exactly in the games the official plot of the movie begins and ends, if at all. Let's see what Riku is up to, who unlike Sora has gotten a way worse lottery ticket and ended up inside of Monstro. And this is actually interesting. Although Riku has areas that only he can visit and Sora does as well, originally it was planned that Riku would have his very own unique adventure in each world, where the levels are not just different, but inherently something else. For example, Riku was intended to visit the grid, or the world designed after Tron Legacy, while Sora was meant to visit the original Tron world, which would have allowed for much more variety between the two adventures, but it got reduced to only special areas for each of the two, and differences in plot. So, who of the two would have been the unlucky bastard to visit all the Disney sequels? Why is this world still called Prankster's Paradise? Aside from a poster on a piece of wood, there's literally nothing else from the island here. I know, it's more convenient that way, but, you know, a little bit more putting in the extra work, if you please. Riku hears Geppetto's voice, calling out for her son, who, you guessed it, has run off yet again. Is it possible that life as a puppet is an actual nightmare and he has no will to live and that's why he gets himself into trouble all the time?
Goodbye, Jiminy.
Goodbye. I may be live bait down there, but I'm with you. Ah.
Why has nobody made a horror movie about Pinocchio yet? And again, to repeat what I said before, A GPS inside the brain of every child would prevent this. Jiminy tells us that Woodboy went with a man in a black coat. Would have been a surprise if he told us it was a fox and a cat. So we go searching, and when we find him, we tell the mysterious figure to let the boy go. And he does exactly that. Aliens? Stop invading our world. Pinocchio apologizes, realizing that his father and Jiminy must have worried sick. Why, you little... It is revealed that the person under the hood is another version of Riku. After this encounter, he is reminded of what he could have been. He says that the darkness he once accepted has till this day not left him alone. Pinocchio and Jiminy give him some advice, saying he can't shoulder all his problems alone. He needs someone to guide him, someone to give him support, a certain someone that always has a go-lucky attitude towards everything. You need a golden retriever. Therapy session suddenly gets interrupted when a Dream Eater parasite attacks. In this fight, we have the ability to turn the room upside down as we please, which, now that I look at it, makes my own stomach hurt. Father and son get reunited and Riku contemplates a few things again. You were just told to take Sora's example. Stop thinking and be a happy idiot. And take your joy. We return to Traverse Town thanks to Joshua. Oh yeah, it's not like we're on an important mission or anything. You are Trickster God, aren't you? He explains that the other kids are still in the Reapers game, and right now they have to finish off a very strong Dream Eater. So Joshua thought we could be of assistance. We quickly find Neku and Shiki fighting against a raven on a broomstick casting spells. It gets away, but not just to another place of the city, but to the other version of it. In order to get it, we will have to find a way to trap it in one place, and so Sora and the others run into battle without having fully discussed what the plan is. Operation Ninja! But never mind that. Joshua goes over to Riku.
What happened?
Trouble happened. I was hoping one of you could help.
When did Sora get here?
Bravo, Riku. Why can't he be this quick on the uptake?
Yeah, well, Sora's a little...
Oh my god. Should I get a few hair rolls and a nail polishing so that the two gossip girls can discuss this further? I mean, you are right of course, but that's mean. You're mean girls. The two get their butts moving eventually. Joshua wants to inform him of something he noticed. He thought that Riku and Sora's Twilight Town existed parallel to one another, but this isn't the case. When Shiki crossed over from Riku's world to Sora's, she had more time on her hand than before. But when Beat returned to her brother from Sora's part of Traverse Town to Riku's, she had less time. Meaning Riku's version of events take place after Sora's do. Their worlds don't run parallel to one another. Meaning they are not the same, which is what Joshua makes clear. Try to remember that. It's going to come back later. Beat and Rhyme are having trouble fighting the Dream Eater, even though Beat tried to act all strong and tough. But her sister tells us that this isn't true, and the two siblings get into an argument, completely ignoring the creature born from darkness right in front of them. The Dream Eater feels insulted in his pride and fights even more fiercely than before. Riku corners it and it decides to teleport away again, but this was part of the plan, since on the other end Sora is already waiting, leaving it no choice but to confront him. Afterwards, the kids have a little bit of chatter and some light-hearted fun. A portal appears, giving Riku his ticket out of this world.
It's going to lie to you, to try and make you think it's real.
I got it.
What? I don't got it.
You and Sora would break your heads on this one.
What?
Everybody thinks I'm dumb and makes fun of me behind my back. My heart is full of bleeding wounds that I don't show. Oh yeah, as for Sora, he does defeat the creature, but knowing that if it were to teleport away again, it only would run into Riku, so it decides to leave the world altogether. Neku and Shiki get worried, since now they are not able to finish their mission, but Sora says he will go after the thing for them. Wow, this is the first time that something that happens in one world directly blends over to another. Amazing that you have discovered this possibility after over 10 years. Meanwhile, at Good Guy headquarters, Maleficent has sent her Raven to deliver a message. Mickey is ordered to return to Disney Castle if he wants to see Minnie stay well. And for some reason, it's stranger than I ever imagined it to be to hear Mickey say the D word himself. I guess it's because hearing the mascot of the whole company say the name breaks the immersion.
The letter says for me to return to Disney Castle, or else.
Right? That's not just me, is it? Also, are there no guards in your kingdom, Mickey? This is like the third invasion this year. Then again, you have to spend your taxpayer money much more wisely. For example, making a big statue of yourself and your best friend. And it's not even gold, it's just copper. That should tell you everything you need to know about the finances about this nation. The original trio returns to Mickey's home, where Pete and Maleficent are waiting, telling them their demands. For once, she wants Disney Castle.
You fucking still going on about that?
Not even you would go through this much trouble just for that. What is it you're really after?
Mickey, she went back in time to get her hands on your castle. A simple kidnapping is almost lazy compared to that. No, actually, Mickey is right. She asks us if we know Xehanort, which of course we do, and she explains even more things we already know, namely that he was the one who gave her all the tips and tricks to conquer worlds, how to control the Heartless and the Seven Lights. However, she thinks her first attempt was misguided, and now she wants the data in our journal to do something sinister with it. Oh yeah, how did they get out of the data realm anyway? Oh no, don't make another spin-off game. It's fine, I have my headcanon. Maleficent gets impatient and decides to attack, but her evil energy ball gets countered and Minnie freed from a very familiar weapon that came out of a dark portal. Then Maleficent gives up for the day and walks out of view. Very relaxed. You fools! Do what you want, but nothing will stop me from becoming a real estate queen. And it turns out the defender was none other than our dear old friend Axel.
My name is Lee. Got it memorized?
Yeah, okay, whatever you call yourself this week. And with that, another episode comes to a close. I hope you all had fun. Meet me again next time when our journey in the Kingdom Hearts universe continues. I'm Zgermanguy, and I'm out. Auf Wiedersehen.